part of success in any environment, in any space, is knowing exactly who you're working with, right? And I think there's so many metrics that you can go by to determine who you're working with. And one of those metrics is, that I thought that I should have actually understood when I was actually in the field, was knowing people's generation, right? So based on the generation of a person, you'll be able to tell exactly which characteristics and values they actually have that will work well for them, for you to have as well. So what defines a generation? So basically, according to Google, generations are defined by world changing events, advancement in technology, and cultural narratives. And cultural narratives being how people associate with the current time, how people talk about it, how people feel as if they belong a part of, or belong with the cultural times, or inside the cultural times. For example, because I didn't understand cultural narratives either, I had to go find examples because I'm slow sometimes. The Marvin Gaye, the Shaka Khan era, the Majorettes. I think is this the Majorettes? I'll double check it. Anyhow, those people in that era, when the Shaka Khan, the Al Green, and the Marvin Gaye time, they felt a certain type of appreciation for sexual pleasure and feeling and love and peace and all that stuff, and there was a different type of feeling versus um, the Beyonce house era. It's a completely different time where people are actually free to say that they're gay. It's more inclusive. It's more overt. It's more explicit, and it's more inclusive for everybody, right? That rather than straight people. And obviously, there's a huge problem right now with regards to Christian faith. Well, not really all Christian faiths, but that's a topic for another day. Anyhow, so those are the things that define a generation. And so I just wanted to say that the silent generations are between 81 and 98. The baby boomers are now between 62 and 80. This is now 2026. 62 and 80 are the B, 62 and 80. The Gen X between 46 and 61. The millennials are now, which is Gen Y, 30 and 45, which I am. And the Gen Alpha is 14 to 29. The Gen Alpha is 2 to 16 right now, and the Gen Beta is 2025 onward. Silent generation, 1928 to 1945. They are often characterized as pragmatic and cautious in their financial decisions, right? So that's 1945. But then you have the baby boomers. These are the main people whose networks actually run the world, right? These are the people you have to look out for because they have spent years and years, they've gone through all the turmoil, the stress, and the issues of all the problems in the world, and there's no disrespect with regard to that. But during those turmoils and stress, they've also built a network that is helpful to them and their uses and their accomplishments and their goals. And because of that, they actually have the power, meaning their network power, to completely ruin your life if you do not acquiesce to their will. So, what it is that they like. They're often associated with values of equity and activism. I don't. Okay. Baby boomers are also known for their strong work ethic and loyalty to their employers. I don't think that loyalty stops to their employees. I really think that loyalty extends into the home, to the family life. These are the people who watched shows like these people watch shows like The Godfather and all that stuff. If you speak up against them or whatever, these are the people who actually have these things, who cause these things to happen. What I realized over this past 5 years, and thank God for Netflix and real life experiences and me sitting down and actually having the time to think, I realized that a lot of these deaths are not accidental, right? Watch The Godfather. I didn't watch Al Capone, but I'm pretty sure they have some real life experiences or situations in Al Capone or whatever. But these are the people who will actually have you killed because if you lack loyalty in certain situations. They value loyalty. These are the people who run the world right now. So these are the things, and this is what you have to acquiesce to. If you lack loyalty, you will starve. If you lack loyalty to them and their goals and their mission, you will starve. That's what they base things on. And honestly, if you have been bullied or abused by any of these people, any of the baby boomers, you probably have the same type of mindset where you value loyalty over them. You value loyalty over yourself. Well, you hand over your life to them, and you value loyalty as well. which means that if they ask you for something and even if your body says no, you still have to find a way to make that shit happen, right? It's not healthy psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially for you. It's more helpful and healthy for them for you to sacrifice yourself in the name of loyalty. Not a specialist, but these are my opinions. So then we have Generation X. So they value independence, adaptability, and work-life balance, having witnessed the transition from analog to digital technology. So these are the people who come from the baby boomers generation, who actually probably were abused by the baby boomers, probably have Stockholm syndrome, and very much so are carrying on the mindset and ideals of the baby boomers. But these people are also being taken over by the millennials. This generation faced economic challenges, and including the Great Recession. They're characterized by their adaptability to technology, a focus on social justice, and a tendency to prioritize experiences over materialism, over material possessions or materialism. So clearly, we have a huge situation going on with regards to the generational change and the differences in generation. And so I think that obviously, as it shows here, millennials actually are kind of the antithesis of the Generation X, and the baby boomers. So obviously there has been some kind of um, quiet generational fight with regards to what the baby boomers and the Generation X want versus what the millennials want. And so what right now I think that the millennials are actually doing a good job at standing on their ground and doing whatever it is that they think is good for them. And the baby boomers are obviously going to have a problem. Now with me specifically, I'm the child of Generation X, right? And I was also abused. Obviously, all of us were. We all obviously have probably Stockholm syndrome from people who raised us. And so one thing with me is that I also valued loyalty until loyalty almost killed me. So yeah, that's out of the window. Now I'm trying to find a good balance between work and home life, or just trying to deal with myself and my emotions and my feelings and my health, because obviously the world is very different. Technology is a new thing now, and it's taken over our lives completely. And so the balance between loyalty to employers and loyalty to myself, it's a fight for me right now, but I'm dealing with it every day. Then you have the Generation Z. I personally believe they don't give a shit. Same as Generation Alpha, they don't give a fuck. That's basically how I characterize those people. I have never seen this before in my entire life. They are afraid of no one. They say whatever it is that they need to say. And their mental model is F you, and I'm going to do what I want. Thank you for my TED Talk. um, yeah, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.